Italy player ratings v Scotland. Azzurri earned historic Six Nations win, and Rome Italy's steady rise under Gonzalo Casada took another significant step forward on Saturday, as the Azzurri claimed a deserved 18-15 victory over Scotland at a rain-lashed Stadio Olimpico. It was a performance built on early ambition, aerial assurance, defensive resilience, and just enough composure under pressure to withstand a nervy finish. From the opening exchanges, Italy looked sharper and more cohesive, particularly in the back line, where their young and increasingly confident midfield pair of Menoncello Brex and Tommaso Menoncello again caught the eye. Up front, the pack fronted up superbly in the wet, matching Scotland physically and winning key moments at scrum time, the breakdown, and in defense. Here is how we rated Gonzalo Casada's side in their Six Nations opener up back 3 and backs 15. Leonardo Marin, 6 originally selected in midfield against Chile last time out. Marin was switched to fullback due to injuries, a move that inevitably invited Scotland to test his reliability under the high ball. In truth, they never really managed to expose him. In atrocious conditions, Marin was tidy rather than spectacular, positioning himself well and making sensible decisions across his 74-minute outing. He rarely put a foot wrong, even if he was not heavily involved offensively. Point 14. Lynagh, 8 now fully embedded in the Italian system. Lynagh continues to look more assured with every test appearance. His opening try on 8 minutes was a moment of pure instinct, sprinting into space to gather Brex's clever kick through. More impressive was his aerial work, which directly contributed to Italy's second try. While there were a couple of unfortunate second-half moments, including a neck roll penalty and a knock-on, his overall influence was immense in a game decided by small margins. Point 13. Menoncello Brex, 8 on the occasion of his 50th cap. Brex delivered a performance worthy of the milestone. He was Italy's attacking conduit in the first half, playing flat, direct, and with intelligence before the weather deteriorated. His grubber kick for Lynagh's opening try was perfectly judged. In the second half, as Italy grew increasingly anxious, Brex's defensive grit and organizational calm were invaluable in keeping Scotland at bay. Point 12. Tommaso Menoncello, 8 Italy's most exciting backline talent, once again lived up to the hype. Menoncello's second try, scored after slicing through Scotland's cover defense down the touchline, showcased his balance, pace, and confidence. He began the second half with a superb counterattack from deep inside his own half, momentarily threatening to put the game beyond Scotland. Alongside Brex, he was never intimidated by a midfield featuring British and Irish Lions pedigree. Point 11. Monty Ione, 7 one of the most successful overseas recruits Italy have ever made. Ione was a constant source of threat. He repeatedly asked questions of Scotland's defense with his footwork and work rate, particularly when conditions made attacking chances scarce. His assured take of a tricky kick in the 58th minute was a perfect example of his reliability when it mattered most. Point 10. Paolo Garbisi, 7 marking his 50th cap. Garbisi delivered a mixed but ultimately decisive display. His lingering habit of overthinking surfaced in the first half with 2 failed drop goal attempts, the second coming without the safety net of a penalty advantage. However, his composure off the tee proved crucial, landing 3 kicks from 4 for 8 vital points. In conditions that demanded pragmatism, his game management was good enough. Point 9. Alessandro Fusco, 7 Fusco, was one of Italy's cleverest operators in the opening hour. His deception around the base of the ruck, notably shaping one way before passing the other, sparked the move that led to Italy's opening try. It was also his kick that set Lynagh away for the second score. Playing 61 minutes, his absence late on was felt as Italy struggled to maintain tempo. Forwards 8. Lorenzo Cannone, 9 Italy's standout forward on the day. Cannone was the go-to carrier, particularly in the first half, repeatedly denting Scotland's defensive line even as conditions worsened. While he didn't always make clean breaks through traffic and puddles, his relentless effort wore down the visitors. His gutsy carry from the back of scrum inside Italy's own 22 around the hour mark epitomized his commitment. Point 7. Manuel Zuliani, 8. Giuliani's performance was as defiant as it was influential. He won the penalty that allowed Garbisi to extend Italy's lead early in the second half before being controversially sidelined in the 55th minute after taking a yellow-carded shoulder to the head from George Turner. His return at 69 minutes was immediate and impactful, promptly irritating Scotland into infringing at the breakdown point 6. Michel Lamoureux, c. 7, earning his 50th cap. Lamoureux led by example without grabbing headlines. He worked tirelessly in defense, marshaled his pack well, and made sensible decisions during a tense second half. His substitution late on, primarily to reintroduce Giuliani, was a pragmatic move that underlined his selfless leadership. Point 5. Andrea Zambanin, 8. Zambanin's contribution was vital to Italy's ability to bottle up Scotland. His 11th minute line-out steal deep in Italy's 22 set the tone early, and he followed that up with a high tackle count and strong physical presence. He left the field at 69 minutes, having played a major role in maintaining Italy's defensive integrity. Point 4. Lorenzo Cannone, 9. A defensive colossus. Scotland repeatedly ran into Cannone's tackle, only to be halted time and again. While he conceded a couple of penalties, they were insignificant in the broader context of his performance. It was fitting that Cannone, alongside substitute Federico Ruzza, completed the match-ending choke tackle that sealed Italy's victory. Point 3. Simone Ferrari, 9. Ferrari celebrated his 70th cap in style. The most capped player in the Italian 15 was superb at scrum time, anchoring a set piece that frustrated Scotland throughout. His delight after winning a scrum penalty around the 50-minute mark was infectious. He also made a significant defensive contribution during his 59 minutes on the field. Point 2. Giacomo Nicotera, 7. A lively and combative presence. Nicotera was heavily involved during his time on the pitch. However, he will be disappointed at being stepped too easily by Jack Dempsey for Scotland's first try. Aside from that blemish, his work rate and physicality were strong in testing conditions. Point 1. Danilo Fischetti, 7. Perhaps the quietest member of Italy's pack, but that should not be mistaken for a lack of effectiveness. Fischetti embraced the unglamorous work demanded by the wet conditions, providing stability and effort that allowed others to shine at replacements. 6. Giuliani's HIA triggered the first wave of substitutions, which accelerated when Quesada introduced his replacement front row with 21 minutes remaining and Italy holding an 8-point lead. While 2 scrum penalties were won, a definite positive, the bench as a whole seemed to introduce a degree of anxiety rather than control. Italy survived, but the closing stages suggested there is still work to do in managing games more comfortably from winning positions. Final verdict: this was not a perfect performance, but it was a deeply encouraging one. Italy showed intelligence, bravery, and resilience, particularly in atrocious conditions. Their young backs continue to grow in confidence. Their pack is developing real steel, and belief is coursing through the squad. Under Gonzalo Quesada, Italy are no longer chasing respect. They are demanding it.